What's good, Shellitronnn here. You can call me Shells, and I'm back again with a brand new video. And I'm gonna keep it a Bowberry biscuit. Every single negative thing I might have said in the past about Scotty Fit, Red Rule, and even Dave up top, I take back 100% of all of those things because these boys are putting in work. All hours of the night. Now, I thought when we went ahead and made these moves on the defense side of the ball, I said, okay, I'm pretty satisfied with this, but let's see if we can do something else. Then we got Sam Darnold, who I believe can be a pretty good quarterback in the right system, with the right pieces around him, with protection. We have the weapons already. Got to get the O-line, but the way you help a quarterback out is not just by building up your offense. If your defense is strong enough to take the ball away and give your offense good field position, then your quarterback and your offense as a whole can also look very good. And what's going to be the biggest test for the Panthers in the NFC South? I think we all know what it is, because it's been the same exact thing for the past, 5-6 years? It's these quarterback wide receiver duos. There's one in Atlanta. There's one in New Orleans. I gotta say, I actually do like Jameis Winston. Jameis Winston can't throw that ball. And there's one triple, honestly, in Tampa Bay. You have to be able to stop the pass. And we don't really have any corners on the team. Dante, his first 2 years, was very, very inconsistent. This past year, he looked consistent, but was off the field so often with that toe injury that it was really hard to actually gauge how much better he actually got. So we all thought that the number one priority, or around number one priority after O-line, had to be the secondary. We need a free safety. We need a number one corner. Dave Tepper said we are not going to wait until the draft to find a number one corner. Throw up the tweet right here. It says, Carolina Panthers, we working. AJ Bouye, and then we start flexing on them. The Panthers just signed AJ Bouye. This is a move that I would have never expected to happen. From 2016 to 2018, that 3-year span, AJ was one of the best corners in the entire league. I could put him at top 3, honestly, in the entire league. Now, in the past couple years, he's had some injuries. He hurt his wrist a bit, hurt his quad. He had another leg injury, and he had a concussion last year. So he's been nicked a little bit. His past 2 seasons have not been what we've come to expect out of an AJ Bouye, but he is still a very strong number one option at the cornerback position. And in the NFL, if you don't have a cornerback who can stop guys like Julio, like Michael Thomas, like Mike Evans, and everyone else we have to face on our schedule this year, you're not going to go very far. You might squeak your way into the playoffs. You might sneak in there. But once you get to the playoffs, you're playing against real deal teams. There is no real strength of schedule. You have to beat very good teams in the playoffs. So you're going to need somebody who can stop somebody. And AJ Bouye is a guy who can stop somebody. 8 years in the league, 14 interceptions, I think 72 passes deflected. This man is on the field. He makes moves. He's pretty fast even still. Is still a ball hawk. And he's averaged around 60-ish, upper 50s in terms of tackles in the past several years, minus last year where he only played 7 games. But still, AJ Bouye is a very viable threat on the defensive side of the ball. And I like what I saw from Phil Snow. We didn't win every game, obviously, but I like what I saw from him when he was adjusting. We didn't have a bad first half. He would come through second half and shut down guys like Aaron Rodgers and Drew Brees. Aaron Rodgers and Drew Brees were killing us in the first half of games. Phil Snow adjusted, and they were only able to get field goals against us. Now, if our offense could have capitalized off that, we could have made some moves this season. But Phil Snow is only going to get better now that he's in his second year in the system. He's not installing the system over Zoom. I assume we're going to have OTAs, mini camp, maybe training camp. Hopefully we get a preseason. We might get a preseason. And if we have Phil Snow and this defense having a full preseason, just imagine how strong our defense is going to be. Look, we already have a full front 7. Need another defensive tackle and a free safety. But for the most part, we're at a really good spot in our defense because we can find those things in the draft. Now, on offense, we do need an O-line and maybe another backup running back. I have a video on that, on who I think could be our backup running back, coming out very, very soon. But look, AJ Bouye here on the defense. He makes the defense better. And if the defense is better, then the offense should be better. A better defense equals better field position, which means less room to go before you can score a touchdown. A better defense means more turnovers, which means more opportunities to score. A better defense means a better Sam Darnold. And if Sam Darnold can look good on this team with a better defense, I'm loving what I'm seeing out of Matt Rule, out of Dave, and my man Scotty Fitt, making moves to make sure that this team actually looks good this year. My only questions right now are just how expensive was this deal and how long will this deal be? Because if we can work backwards for those questions, the length of the deal is a big point to me, because if it's a 1-year deal, it kind of feels like we're trying to go all in to just isolate all issues that could be surrounding Sam Darnold to say, okay, if our D is good, if our weapons on offense are good, if we can find ourselves a pretty decent O-line, the running back's good, find a backup running back, if we can put all this around Sam Darnold, then we can decide whether or not he's worth a long-term deal. So you're bringing together all these very impressive ingredients for the 2021 season to determine whether or not you can depend on Sam Darnold moving forward if you do have a good enough team surrounding him. It kind of feels like you're trying to go all in rather than have a long-term plan for the team. But when you buy the lottery ticket that is Sam Darnold, and it kind of can be a coin flip whether he turns out to be very, very good or what we thought he was at the Jets, I guess you have to go ahead and say, well, we are already committed to him for this year and most likely next year. So we're going to have to go ahead and see what we can get. If we can peak everything around him, and we have no doubt about the pieces surrounding him. If we do poorly, then that just reflects on his ability, or I guess us as coaches. But I think that Matt Rule, Joe Brady, and Phil Snow have all been pretty good. It looks like we made a very, very focused effort to make sure that everything surrounding Sam Darnold is going to be pretty solid. I would not be surprised if we do go and double down on O-line in the first and second round of the draft. I wouldn't be surprised if we trade down to the second, maybe got a guy like, I don't know, like Darisaw, or somewhere around like that 10 to 15 mark, and find a guy there. We're going to have a very, very good team, and it seems like the guys up top have said, we're going to make sure that this is going to be our litmus test year. We're going to find out just how good Sam Darnold is by putting pieces around him on the offense and making sure our defense is good enough so that they won't be the problem if we lose. There is one more detail about AJ Bouye that I gotta let y'all know. At the end of last year, he got suspended for a PED use. It was a 6-game suspension. Only served 4 of those. So for the first 2 games of the 2021 season, we will be AJ Bouye less. For the first 2 weeks, we're going to have to deal with not having him in there. But once he comes in and once he's actually on the team, on the field, it's going to be real good, right? It's going to be real good. We're going to have a really good defense moving forward. Now, it may not happen immediately because you have to, get back into the swing of things after being out for so long. Week 3 may not be all that great for AJ, but weeks 4 and 5, we should see him back at max capacity, looking real good. I'm thinking this is going to be a very exciting year for the Panthers. If nothing else, it seems kind of like we said, we're looking at the Hornets right now. We're looking at the Hornets. The Hornets at one point, for a very long time actually, were the 4th seed in the East. The Panthers saying, hey, they've been bad for so long. We were the top dog in Charlotte. We got to find a way. We got to find a way to get back on top. We can't let the Hornets outdo us. Or maybe we want Charlotte sports to come back and actually be a real thing where both the NFL and NBA teams have some kind of pride. It's been a minute, right? It's been a minute, right? So we have some names on the team. We can probably get some wins this year, maybe get to the playoffs, and maybe start getting some attention that we deserve. AJ Bouye was a great move. I gotta say, it really is a great move. These boys are putting in work in the front office at all hours of the night, and I gotta respect it, man. That's how I feel about it, though. What are y'all's thoughts on AJ Bouye? Is he still good? Is he washed? What do y'all think he got signed for? I'll put it up there in the pinned comments once I find out. And what are your thoughts on AJ Bouye? And can he help our defense out? And will his presence help Sam Darnold out? You guys let me know all your thoughts in the comments below. And you already know what to do with that like button.
Cheers to you, appreciate the chance. Been told y'all I been the man. Been told y'all I had the gift. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Real ones gonna recommend. Count this as another win.